For the first DIY, I'm going to be using these large 12-inch wood craft sticks that I ordered off of Amazon, and I will have them linked down below in case you're interested. But you could also probably use paint sticks or something similar to make this sign. So basically, I cut out 3 4.5-inch pieces of the wood and then 2 4-inch pieces. And here I am starting to paint them, and I painted one of the larger ones and one smaller one with this agave Waverly chalk paint. And then I'm going to go in with some mineral chalk paint and add some distressing to each of those pieces. For the next larger wood piece, I'm going to paint this one with Ocean Waverly chalk paint, and while the paint is still wet, I'm going to go in with some white paint on my brush and just kind of add some distressing to this piece. And then for these last two wood pieces, I'm going to paint them with the mineral Waverly chalk paint, and then I'm going to do the same thing that I did for the last one and just kind of add some distressing with some white paint while the mineral is still wet. Now I'm going to assemble this sign, so here you can just kind of see how I laid out each of the pieces, and now I'm going to flip them all over, and then to attach it together I'm using 2 popsicle sticks, and I'm just going to glue one on either side so that all of these pieces will stay together. And for this sign, I'm going to put sand and sea and spell that out on it. And so I'm using these little wood letters that I got from Michael's, and I'm just going to paint all of them with some white paint. And to hold them all in place, instead of trying to hold them down with your fingers and then have them move them all around, I just put them on a little piece of tape, and this makes it much easier to paint them. And I'm also going to be using this little shell from this kit that came from Dollar Tree, and this is going to be one of the decorations on the sign. So I'm just going to paint this little wood icon with some celery Waverly chalk paint. And I'm also going to be using one of these little starfish that came on a clothespin, and I just went ahead and popped that off, and that's also from Dollar Tree. And I already attached the sand and sea wood letters onto the sign, and I've just kind of put them on a diagonal down. And so now I'm just going to glue on the starfish and the seashell to the sign, and that will finish off this cute little sign. And for this next DIY, I'm going to use a wood plaque, and this one is from Michael's. And I'm starting by painting it with the agave Waverly chalk paint. And while the paint is still wet, I'm going to go in with the mineral chalk paint and add some distressing and just kind of mix that and blend that in to add some more dimension to the background of this sign. And to decorate the sign, I'm using one of these seahorses that is from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to quick fill in the hole at the top with some spackling. And I'm going to start by painting the whole thing with some white paint. And once again, I'm going to distress this piece as well with the mineral Waverly chalk paint. Now I'm going to glue the seahorse onto the sign, and that's it for this easy and quick DIY, but I think it came out really cute for my beach tiered tray. For this next DIY, I'm going to be making a beach house out of foam board, and I know you might be thinking that that might look bad, but trust me, once we're done, you won't even be able to tell that it was made out of foam board. So here I am tracing out the shape for the beach house. Basically what I did is measured out 4 inches across and then 3 inches up, and then I marked a point in the middle at 5 inches. Then I just connected the two sides to form the roof shape, and hopefully you can just kind of follow along there. And I did 3 of these pieces, and I'm just gonna cut all 3 of them out, and I'm using this foam board cutter to do that. And this is really nice to cut foam board out, and I know a lot of people have asked me where it's from in the past or what I'm using, so I will also have that linked in the description below. And now I'm going to glue all 3 foam board pieces together, and I did 3 pieces to make it thick enough to stand up on its own. And making this out of foam board is a great alternative to using wood if you don't have access to power tools and things like that, because I don't either, and this is just a much easier way and inexpensive to make this cute little beach house. And now I'm going to paint the front of the beach house with the Agave Waverly chalk paint. Next, I cut 2 of the wood pieces that are 4 inches long, and I used those same long wood craft sticks that I used in the first DIY to make these. And I'm just going to glue 2 of these on for the roof of the beach house. And then I cut 2 popsicle sticks down. I just cut the ends off to be the same length as the sides of the beach house, and I'm going to glue those on, and that will cover up the seams so you won't even be able to tell that this was made out of foam board. And next I'm going to glue 4 of the Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks together, and this is going to form a door for the front of the beach house. And once I have those all glued together, I'm going to go ahead and glue it to the front of the beach house. And then to add some decoration to the beach house, I'm going to take one of those starfish clips from Dollar Tree and go ahead and pop that off the clothespin, and then I'm just going to glue this to the top of the beach house. The last thing I did to finish off this cute little beach house was add a little door handle to the door using some black paint and a dotting tool. For this next DIY, I'm going to be showing you how to make a cute little beach chair using popsicle sticks. And to start, I am lining 5 popsicle sticks up so that they're kind of staggered, with the middle one at the highest point, and then they kind of all slope down from there. Then I drew a line a little bit up from the bottom, and I'm just going to cut all of these down to size. And once I have them all cut down, I'm just going to go ahead and line them back up how they were before. And this is going to be forming the back of the beach chair. Then I'm going to take another popsicle stick and cut a piece down that is the width of the chair. Now that I have this cut down to size, I'm going to go ahead and glue it to the bottom of the row of popsicle sticks. And before the glue dries, I am spreading each of the popsicle sticks out a little bit so that it looks more like the back of a beach chair. I'm going to take another popsicle stick and place this about halfway up the back of the chair, and then I'm going to draw two lines on both sides that are at a slight angle and overlapping just a little bit from the edge of the popsicle sticks. And I'm going to cut the ends of this off, and this is going to form the support for the back of the chair that the armrest will end up resting on. So that's why you want it to overlap the sides just a little bit so that the armrest will have something to rest on. I'm just going to go ahead and glue that about halfway up from the bottom. Next, I'm going to be making the base of the chair, and to do this, I'm starting by lining up 5 popsicle sticks, and then I'm going to line them up with the back of the chair, and I'm going to mark a line so that the seat will be the same width as the back of the chair. So once I have my lines marked, I'm going to go ahead and cut all of my pieces down to size. Now that I have all 5 pieces cut down to size, I'm going to line them all up, and then I also cut 2 more pieces that are the length of these stacked together, and I'm going to go ahead and glue these onto both sides to hold them all together, and this is going to form the seat for the beach chair. Now I'm going to glue a full popsicle stick onto both sides of the seat of the chair, and these are going to be the long legs of the back of the chair. Now I applied some hot glue to this part of the base of the chair and then attached the back of the chair to that part. And you can start to see the chair is really coming together now. To make the front legs of the beach chair, I cut 2 popsicle sticks down to be around 2 inches long. And then I made a mark at around 1 inch, and this is going to help me to guide where to place both of the front legs so that the chair will end up standing evenly. So I'm just going to line the line up with the top of the base of the chair so that both of the front legs will end up being even, and then these are also going to be the support for the armrest. So to make the armrest, I'm just using these mini popsicle sticks. I'm going to apply a little bit of glue to the top of the front leg and also the back support for the armrest, and then I'm just going to attach both of the mini popsicle sticks. To give this chair a bit more of a finished look, I cut a piece of popsicle stick down to be the width of the chair and went ahead and glued that to the front, and that's it. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and paint the chair, and I wanted to paint it a little bit of a lighter shade than this agave color that I've been using throughout the tier tray. So I just mixed it with some white paint to get a little bit of a lighter shade of blue, and went ahead and painted my whole chair with this color. For this next DIY, I'm going to be making a sign using this wood plaque that I got from Michael's. And I'm starting by painting it with some white paint for the base coat. And then I'm going to be decorating the sign using these rub-on transfers that I got from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to cover this whole sign with these seashells. So I'm just going to kind of place them all around the sign. And I had a really hard time with these for some reason. I don't know if I just got like bad rub-on transfers or something, but they weren't all going onto the sign. As you can see, that seashell is kind of missing part of it, and it just, I don't know why I was having such a hard time with these, but in the past, whenever I used Dollar Tree rub-on transfers, I didn't have this kind of issue before, so, but anyways, I managed to get the sign done and cover it all with these rub-on transfers. For this next DIY, I am making a little beach sign, and to make this, I started by gluing two of the Dollar Tree tumbling tower blocks together, and then I'm going to paint them with the Agave Waverly chalk paint. And this is basically going to be the base for this little sign that I'm making. I'm going to be using these wood letters again that I got from Michael's to spell out beach, and I'm just going to paint them using some white paint. And then I'm going to glue the letters onto the tumbling tower blocks for the base, and I'm just going to glue them standing upright, and it will make this cute little beach sign. And I just wanted to add something to my tiered tray that said beach on it, but it needed to be small because basically my tray was already filled up, so I just came up with this idea. And it was a quick and easy little DIY. The last DIY I'm going to show you is this beaded garland that I made, and I'm not going to go into too much detail for this one because I've made plenty of beaded garlands on my channel before, but I just wanted to show it just because I did make it specifically for this tray in case any of you wanted to see. So basically I just painted large beads, white and then a light blue color, and also left these smaller wood beads blank. I didn't paint them or anything, and then I just strung them on in a pattern and attached a twine tassel to one end of the beaded garland. And then for the other side of the beaded garland, I painted a little tag white, and then I added some distressing to it using the mineral Waverly chalk paint, and I just tied that on. And then to decorate that little tag, I am using a wood icon from that same pack that the seashell was in from the first DIY, and I'm just going to glue this cute little dolphin onto the tag to finish off this beaded garland.